This weekend in the game, there's so much on it.
Liverpool have to win this. This ain't a fluke, this ain't a joke thing. We are serious.
Right now, we are better than Liverpool. We need these 3 points.
We can come out of here with 3 points. We can come out of here with something at least.
They got to come here and play like champions. Sometimes it's another team's time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to the Liverpool versus Arsenal preview. We are here outside Anfield, the ground that's had these two. I mean, I don't know, you two are just having like bad flashbacks, and I've never seen you so stressed. Look at you, you're right.
Listen,
you're right,
this
Robbie.
is normally a very stressful place for us. But first of all, I just wanted to speak about that stand that they're putting up over there. I mean, that weren't there last year. They put that up in a year, and that looks very impressive, that new stand that's going up there. And one of the workmen was just saying to me that basically that's going up, and maybe this summer that might be completed, and then they're going to knock down the old, which would be the old away stand. It's sort of half and half, isn't it, Turkish?
Yeah.
They're going to knock that down, and this will become the new stand. And I'll tell you what, it looks pretty impressive, man. It looks pretty impressive.
Well, it does. We were saying they've done more work as well. We think this is new. Is this the new stand, I believe?
That's a fairly new stand. The last few years that's been up.
Couple years or so. Apparently it's going to make it bigger than the Emirates Stadium. This, I think it's about 15,000 they're adding to this, takes it to 61. Maybe the maths isn't quite right, but it will make it bigger than the Emirates.
More people
apparently.
to watch the Conference League. Oops. I shouldn't have said that. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Right. Listen, this is normally what we get when we come in.
Yeah.
It's like roles reversed, because normally, let's be real, when we come up here, we normally get battered. Like, Liverpool just take advantage of Arsenal, slap, on your way home, 3 points. But this weekend, I mean, the game, there's so much on it. You know, probably for both teams, you know what I mean? They've got very slim hopes of getting into Europe now, into the Champions League. And of course, we're chasing the title. And there's a lot of people saying that if we win this, I mean, I heard you saying the other day, Turkish, if you feel that if we win this,
One hand.
You feel one hand's on it?
One hand.
I mean,
it's hard not to think that way, because we were in the car talking about this, and the way I kind of thought in my mind is nothing's obviously decided by a win or a loss in this game. But if we do, then that's another week chalked off, and we're really counting down now. That's then another big hurdle crossed where Man City would have had huge hopes of Arsenal dropping points, because if we do even a draw, then it puts it in Man City's hands if they beat us at the Etihad and all that. So there's that to consider as well. But thirdly, what was my third point? Those are the first 2 points. I had a third point, which was I forgot. I'll come back to it.
Snapman James.
See, you're feeling the heat now as well.
Oh, I'm feeling the heat. I'm bottling it on the preview. Anyway, you speak Turkish. I'll try and remember my third point.
All I keep on thinking is in the last 9 years, I've got more points coming here than Arsenal have. That's all I keep thinking. That's facts. That's not even a joke. I know you man are laughing. That's not a joke.
How many have you got coming up here?
6.
6 points.
In the last 9 years, we've had 2 points coming up here.
Oh my God.
When were those 2 points?
Long time ago now. 3-3 draw was one of them. Didn't we have Ozil, Sanchez?
Didn't Joe Allen equalise in like the 93rd minute or something?
Something like that. And 2-2 was the other one. A few games after.
And even that year when we came up here, it was the League Cup when it was the 5-5. Remember?
Yeah, Martinelli.
We played really well that night, and they still, even though they changed up their team, they still managed to bring it back to 5-5, and then they did us on penalties. I mean, it's a very, very difficult place to come to. Even this season, when they've not been performing well, not many teams have come here and got a result.
No.
You know what I mean? I think, what is it, only
defeat.
Leeds.
Last minute winner.
Yeah, and Real Madrid in the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a really difficult place to come to. We saw what they did to Man United here. You know, they're a different animal here. But Arsenal on the road this season have been a different animal as well. So
best away record in the league, and Liverpool have the third best home record. By the way, I remember my third point, which is that. Which is that if we were to get a win, it also puts City in a position where if they beat us, and then maybe something goes wrong at Newcastle or whatever, they would still need to be perfect to then win the title. So it kind of puts it in a situation where a lot would have to go their way. Again, that doesn't mean it couldn't. There's still tough fixtures for us. But it's a big one. And even Gary Neville said he thinks, and all season he's been saying, he thinks City will win it, and that's a fair prediction. But if Arsenal win, he just thinks that is the kind of thing. So Sir Alex used to say, you win at Anfield at this moment of the season, you're going to win it. That's always been the message.
You want to keep it in your hands. Arteta's mentioned this in our hands. Xhaka recently has mentioned this in our hands. And when you just said that a loss here would put it in City's hands, that realization just came to me.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would hurt so much because, listen, City are more than capable.
A draw would as well, by the way.
A draw would as well.
Yeah.
So it's only a win here that keeps it in our hands.
Oh, nice.
But you mentioned, Liverpool, they've been a different animal over the years. This year, we're a different animal. So I'm going in a lot more confident, and it's about time.
Yeah.
We've knocked down a lot of narrative this season.
Yeah.
It was a while since we won at Brighton. It's been a while since we won at Tottenham. That was 2014 the last time. Last time we won in 2012. Every obstacle, every narrative that we've had coming into this season, we've pretty much knocked out of the park. This is the big one now. I know people have been testing us all season, but with 9 games to go, if we can come Anfield and get the win, like I said, one hand is on that Premier League trophy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I agree with you, Turkish. Like, we've been getting this a lot this season about tests. And some of them we've been getting a bit annoyed about because we're like, yeah, we passed that one and we passed that one. I think when people use that word this week, they're right. This is the ultimate test I kind of look at. This one and City are the 2 ultimate tests. But in particular, this one. Because I feel that if Arsenal could come here, break that hoodoo of losing here all the time, win the game, the confidence that will give the team for the rest of the season, the confidence that will flow through the fans, will be unbelievable. So I feel that this is a pivotal game. And, let's be real, we come here in good shape. You know what I mean? We come in here on the back of lots and lots of wins. Was it 7 on the bounce?
Yeah.
We come here with our star player, Gabriel Jesus, back. He's just scored 2 goals. We've more or less got most of our top players. We don't know exactly what will happen with Saliba, but everybody's fit and ready to go. Sure. We're coming here in a great place, whereas Liverpool are not in a great place. They lost to Chelsea. Sorry, they drew with Chelsea during the week in a game. Really, watching that game, Chelsea should really have won that.
Chelsea should have won that.
They lost last weekend. As well. And normally when you come here, there's a swagger to them when they play on the pitch, and there's a swagger with their fans, and quite rightly so, because they always beat us. So there's always a swagger with their fans. But I noticed that even just walking up here, what did that last guy say? You reckon Arsenal will beat Liverpool 4-0? I mean, that ain't going to happen. I hope it does. I pray that does happen. But it just shows you that a little bit of that swagger is missing at the moment from Liverpool, and this is what Arsenal got to take advantage of. They got to come here and play like champions.
Yeah.
We got to come and play like champions.
Let's remind ourselves of the state of play going into this game. We know that it's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff here in the UK on Sunday, the 9th of April. Arsenal go into it on 72 points, already 3 points more than last year's total for the whole of the season. Liverpool sit 8th on 43 points themselves and really struggling for a place in the top 4, although they will keep having those aspirations. Arsenal's last 5 is 5 wins, and we scored 4, 3, 3, 4 and 4 in the last 5 games. Shows you the red hot form Arsenal in. Liverpool, on the other hand, though, they've picked up 1 point in their last 3 away from home, but the 2 games before home games, 7-0 against Man United and 2-0 against Wolves. And you mentioned the home record, 9 wins in 13, 3 draws and only the 1 defeat to Leeds. Only Arsenal and City have better home records. And I think that's the funny thing about this Liverpool team. And I don't like when people say this Anfield thing's a bit of a myth or whatever. Like, you come here, I've come here when we have been significantly the better team, and I've seen us struggle because there is just something the Liverpool fans, the way, just their pride, the way they play at home, everything about Liverpool, they step up in these occasions. And you saw it against Man United, that they wanted to prove a point against a side that they've been better than for many years. But this year, United were doing the job, and Liverpool went, hold on, let's just remind you what we're capable of. And yet, look, United contributed to that in a lot of their own errors, but Liverpool was scintillating that day.
They were scintillating, but you know what? Let's talk about that first half first. And United should have gone up.
That's
Liverpool's
true.
goal came against the run of play, and United can't touch us this season either. So, I've been talking to a lot of Arsenal fans over the past few weeks. I've been talking to Robbie and yourself on the way here. And, Robbie was saying, let's go in and go on the front foot. Let's take it to them, start quick. At first, I was hesitant about that, thinking, is that the right thing to be doing at Anfield? But the reality is, yes. I think it's not now or never for us. But in a sense, it is now or never, considering where we are in the league. What happens if we drop points, leaving it in City's hands? Listen, this stadium has had many big moments, many big wins, many big nights in Europe. So you can't take it lightly. But I've seen enough from us and enough from Liverpool this season to know we can come out of here with 3 points. We can come out of here with something at least.
Yeah, it's funny because going back to the start of last season, Arsenal have actually played Liverpool 5 times. We beat them 3-2 in the most recent game at the Emirates. What a win that was. Yep. That was one that started to make me believe that this team was different, genuinely. But in the ones before that, a 2-0 defeat at home in the league, a 2-0 defeat at home in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and 0-0 at Anfield. That's the thing we forget. Our last trip to Anfield, we got a clean sheet. We were down to 10 men for a lot of that game. Yes, they were missing Salah and Mane, I believe, but actually Arsenal did really, really well in that game. But it was a 4-0 defeat as well before that at Anfield. And this might sound crazy to say, I didn't think it was a 4-0 performance. I remember thinking we actually battled all right, and then we just kind of capitulated once the game was done.
I was at the game, right, and I remember we were doing all right until Mikel Arteta got into an argument with Klopp.
Yeah. And the fans backed the team.
It's like
the fans said, "Oh, okay."
He made Klopp mad. Yeah. Right? And then they just rose up, and then and they took the game away from us. But let's remember again, and this is again where it bodes well for me, right? The personnel that we have now compared to that game. Remember, Nuno Tavares played a big part in that game with some couple of horrible mistakes in that game. You know what I mean? There's no Nuno Tavares player in the team this year. You know what I mean? There was a lot, there was quite a few changes in that team. I think it was like Aubameyang and Lacazette up front. A completely different team to what is going to face them this week, which will be an informed Saka up front, an informed Gabriel Jesus who's just returned, who knows what it's all about, right? And an informed Martinelli. Or Trossard, who came here and scored a hat-trick earlier on in the season when Brighton got a great draw here. So, we've got Partey should be there, you know what I mean? So, Ben White's on form, you know what I mean? Xhaka's on form, scoring goals. We've got a lot of players coming into this game on form. And, I think, Liverpool are in a little bit of a delicate place at the moment because they know they're under pressure. Normally when we come to play them, they're not really under that type of pressure. As I said, they got that swag about them. It's Arsenal coming to town. We always beat them. Standard win. This time it's like, we need to win this because we've got the Champions League, but we're coming up against a very, very good side who've beaten us already this season, who've been brilliant on the road. So they've got a lot to worry about. But
very true.
Like you said, it's Anfield. And they've got a great form here. We've got to get that out of our heads. Yeah. This weekend, every Arsenal fan and every single player has got to remove the Anfield thing out of their head and remove the fact that we haven't won it for ages and just treat it like another away game and say, right now, we are better than Liverpool. We need these 3 points and let's play like champions.
And this Arsenal team have form for doing that. You think Brentford, you think Tottenham, mainly Tottenham. That was the one where I thought, wow, they really are getting past these
Brentford
hurdles.
as well was a good
Brentford
because
was
again,
big,
Brentford was one
true.
of them places where no one had really gone there won,
very
especially
true.
any of the big teams.
I've got one final question, which I'm going to ask now, but I want your answers at the end because I've got someone else to bring up. Who are the underdogs going into this game? So just hold that question in your mind. Okay. You all think about it as well. The next thing I do want to bring up, though, is injuries. Now, we've got Predict 11 video coming out, so look out for that on AFTV. But the Saliba stuff, we know that he's likely out. We know Tomiyasu's out. Saliba, listen, I'm a bit sceptical about what we're hearing in the media because Arteta straight up lied about Trossard's availability. We looked like complete idiots doing the Fulham. We were sat outside Craven Cottage going, wow, what do we do? There's no Trossard and Jesus.
Yeah.
Bloody played the full match together. So I'm always sceptical. However, it is likely that he might want to just stick with Holding for rhythm anyway, for momentum. If Saliba's not 100% ready, he might not risk him. There's a lot of football still to play. And then you've got the Liverpool side of things where, Trent, Van Dijk, Robertson, all out the team against Chelsea. And you think that was an opportunity for them to get 3 points and try and put some pressure.
Yeah, I think
so was that a dropping or a resting?
I think that's a dropping thing where they just haven't been performing recently. Take them out for a bit. You know that old saying, take them out for a bit and then... refocus them and bring them back. I think that I expect them to play against us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's probably more rotate. Listen, more rotation than anything. It's hard to say drop, but Liverpool have to win this. If they want Champions League football, if they want to sign Jude Bellingham and the players that they've been linked to, then they have to win this and keep themselves in there with a chance. In regards to Saliba and Rob Holding, I think Arteta will go with Rob if there's any risk factor with Saliba. I hope he is 100% because, listen, you can look at it one way, and this is the negative way to look at it, or the pessimistic way. Holding's not as good as Saliba. Holding will probably be targeted by Núñez and the Liverpool attack. We've seen Holding crumble under these pressure cooker situations before. We look back at Tottenham last season.
Redemption arc, maybe?
Funnily enough, it's the same referee that sent him off against Tottenham. Under this ref, we haven't won in the last 5 games.
Wow.
He's the one that disallowed Martinelli's goal. He's the one that is in charge of the FA Cup fixture against City. So that doesn't even bode well for us. But back to Holding, you can also look at it in a positive way and say, if anyone in this team knows the pain that we've gone through over the years, not just at Anfield, but in the league, is Xhaka and Rob Holding.
Yeah, very true.
Xhaka's managed to turn it around this season. Rob Holding's done well since coming in for Saliba. Those two are the players that know what we've had to go through coming here.
Yeah, very
true. So those 2 are the players I'm going to look at on the pitch and say, listen, keep your heads on, be leaders, and just do your job.
Can I just say something on the Rob Holding thing, right? Because, you're right. He fell apart in that game against Tottenham last year, but that was the only time he did that. He's also come in a lot of big games and done well for us. So, if it is Rob Holding, the way he's played since he's come in, you've got to have confidence in him. But I agree with you. Saliba's fully fit. Has to be Saliba.
I'm of the belief that this might sound ridiculous because of the form of the 2 teams, but Holding might be a little bit more suited to a Haaland in that it's more about a penalty box striker and look, Haaland's more than that, of course. But I'm kind of thinking like he might be happy to risk Saliba a little bit for this one because of the nature of Liverpool's very narrow direct front 3. That might cause Arsenal problems in that sense, whereas City are much more wide, they're much more calculated. And listen, you want Saliba for both, but I just wonder whether Holding, he might think, okay, I'm kind of happy for Holding to play the rest of the games, I'm happy to risk Saliba, but we will see.
Saliba's fit, he's got to play, man. That's what, as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I think too. But I asked a question, who's the underdog going into this game?
I'm going to say the underdog going into this game are Liverpool.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Just based off of what we've been doing this season, they're the underdogs. But, it's when you look at their home form, when you look at what they've done against us over the years, it seems ridiculous to say that. But it's just that at the moment where they are and where we are, you'd have to say, they're the underdogs.
Yeah.
We're a young team. We're a young team that's found our feet this season. When you look at how many points we've got on the board, if you compare it to there's a graphic going around where you look at the last 10 years of City. Forget that. Let's look at the last 6 years of City under Pep. Our points tally right now after 29 games sits just behind the Centurions this season.
Yeah.
Every other year, Man City have been under Pep. They've had lesser points than us at this stage. Yeah. So this ain't a fluke. This ain't a joke thing. We are serious and we are here and we are the youngest team in the league. We have the youngest manager in the league. It's like the new boys, the fresh bloods are coming into town to show the old boys and the previous, battlers for the title what we're all about.
So I would hope, but sorry to cut you. I'd hope all that. I just can't shake that. This is also the young team that haven't done it yet, coming up against 2019 Champions League winners, 2020 Premier League winners, 2022 FA Cup and Carabao Cup winners. That makes us underdogs to me, even though I get where we are in the season.
Sometimes it's another team's time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
maybe.
just feel like we've kind of done a Liverpool this season. We've kind of become the new Liverpool in a way, in that, you know, the things that they've done over the years. And I've always sort of admired how they've done it, right? You know what I mean? Like, they haven't gone out there and done what City and Chelsea have done and just thrown billions at it. They've done it in the right way. And I think Arsenal are doing it in the right way, but we're the new kids on the block.
All right, let's get into our score predictions then. Also go first. Go on, Robbie.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal.
Arsenal.
The year we finally get it done, man. 2-1.
I hope you're right. Last time we won 2-1, wasn't it the Van Persie volley? Alex Song?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the year after, Cazorla Podolski. So it can happen.
West Ham
Come on, you Irons. Fair enough. I was thinking, what do you... Irons?
What's going on there?
That's a bit random in Liverpool.
Fair enough. Go ahead. Sorry, I've been thrown off by a West Ham fan.
You know I love a 3-1.
You do love a 3-1.
I'm going to go with a 3-1.
Did you? Is that forever Arsenal? Is that what you went for?
Nah, because Jordan predicted the winner and I need to make a difference at the top. I went for 2-2, but I'm going 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm going 2-2 as well. That's why I actually think it will be. Which does put it in City's hands, but then it's also still in our hands technically, because if we do a job at the Etihad and all that. So yeah, all right, we'll leave it there. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts. Who are the underdogs going to this game? What do you expect when it comes to William Saliba? Go check out the Predict 11 where we explore all that in a little bit more detail once that is out as well, of course. And yeah, let us know your score predictions. Robbie. This is what the ground does. All right, we'll catch you very soon. Hit the like button, subscribe. Catch you in a bit.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.